Can you hear me now? If you like pina colada. Back it up. Babysitting spinach. Sweet, salty, spicy, yummy. Zasta? Is that zoodle pasta? I need aluminum foil. Hola familia, BusyMami here, and I am back with a meal prep recipe, but you can do this for your family as well. One of my sister's favorite things are these lasagna spinach roll-ups that I do. Mind you, they love my lasagna as well, but this is just, I don't know why it's their favorite. I think it's because I don't do the spinach this way when I make lasagna, but it's very delicious. I decided I really wanted that this week, but I didn't know how to do that keto, and I was like, oh wait, I actually have a KitchenAid attachment that lets me make sheets out of zucchini. So I'm going to be making my traditional lasagna spinach roll-ups, which if you've seen, the recipe is actually on BusyMami.com, and there's another video for those as well. But I'm gonna make the filling for these right now, and it's probably one of my favorite fillings. You can use this with chicken, on top of steak, really on anything. It's a really, really good filling. It's a good dip on its own as well. So how do we start this? You're gonna add a little oil to your pan, and you're gonna cook down your spinach. So I'm gonna do 2 bags of spinach. You can do half of this recipe if you're gonna do just for your family for dinner. And this obviously is gonna cook down a lot. And you'll see, now you can use frozen spinach as well, and I've done that in like my spinach and artichoke dip recipe that I have on YouTube. It really just depends on what you want. I bought this because I got my groceries actually delivered by Amazon, which was actually the first time I've ever done that. And they had bags of spinach, and so I was like, all right, I'll get me some bags of organic spinach. So you're gonna put those in the pan. I'm going to grab the salt because I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. It helps wilt them a little bit faster. So get all the salt, you know, it's like a pinch of salt. Try to get it in the pan. Try not to get it everywhere else like I just did, but you know. While that is cooking down a little bit, we're gonna get our other ingredients ready. So I'm gonna do about 12 ounces of cream cheese. We're gonna add a little bit of Parmesan cheese to it. Garlic powder, you can add whole garlic if you want. I think that the garlic powder kind of adds more flavor in my opinion. So I prefer garlic powder, but you're welcome to use fresh garlic as well. And so now we're gonna let this cook down a little bit. Get down. You can get down in the comments and talk about stuff that you want to talk about with me today. No, you can go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, let's have a chat. So this has wilted down a really good amount. If you can see, like, it's amazing because this was just a big pile of spinach. I'm gonna let it cook a little bit more. At this point is when I would add the fresh garlic if you're gonna do fresh garlic. So I'm gonna let it cook down a little bit. I wanted to get rid of some of its irony flavor. I don't want to say the irony. Dad jokes. No, the interesting thing about spinach, and a lot of people when I was pregnant had slight anemia, so I had to have extra iron. And few things about spinach, they're great to replenish your electrolytes, especially when on keto. You're gonna wanna do about a cup of cooked spinach is like 840 milligrams of potassium, sorry. One thing that I wanna talk about is spinach is great for iron deficiencies, which I had, like I said, when I was pregnant. And one of the things that I didn't realize is that caffeine negates iron. So I'd be like, okay, for breakfast, I'm gonna have a spinach and egg omelet, or I'm gonna have a breakfast sandwich with spinach on it. Gotta get that iron in, but then I'd have coffee. And guess what would happen? All that iron I ate meant nothing. Which is why foods are so incredibly important to just pay attention to, because you can get so many great nutrients from food, but then the other things that you take into your system can negate all the benefits that you're getting, which is sad, but also truth. So that has gone down. Now I'm gonna add some garlic. So I'm gonna add about half a tablespoon of garlic powder. I like a lot of garlic. And then I'll taste it and probably add more. But I just want it to kind of get in. Oh, it smells so good in here. Seriously, garlic on its own is so delicious. All right, let's start with 1 container of cream cheese. Again, since I ordered my groceries, they only had these tubs. Typically I would buy just a little container. I like to do one at a time. All right, so I'm gonna take another half of this and throw it in here. Mind you, this is for 2 bags of spinach. So if you were gonna do just 1 bag of spinach, because you're only gonna make it for your family, you only need half of this. You might be wondering what's going on behind me. I know, that was right, that was your question. So I'm making some sauce behind me for the roll up. Now, I'm not posting the recipe of the sauce because you can really do whatever sauce you want. I always add meat to whatever sauce I buy, so ground beef or steak or whatever you want to add to it, because sometimes the stuff in the jar is just not, it's not as good, but you know what? I like to add a little flavor to my stuff. So now at this point, I'm going to add a pinch of salt, and then I'm going to add some parm. So I have some grated Parmesan cheese, some organic grated Parmesan cheese. As I've said many times before, I prefer to grate my own Parmesan cheese because it tastes better, in my opinion. But again, I just bought this and it came, and so I'm gonna use it. All right, we're gonna taste now for garlic. That's perfect. I don't need to add any more. All right, if you guys have been watching my channel, you've seen me use this before. These are crushed red pepper Thai chilies from my garden that we grow. Oh, it smells so good. I love it. I love adding a little crushed red pepper to my Italian dishes. Typically when they are very, I don't want to say dense, but I want to say when they're very rich, like cream cheese spinach is very rich. I like to add a little spice to give it another dimension of flavor, where you have that like sweet, salty, spicy, yummy flavors. So now that this is all good to go, you can go ahead and let this cool. So I want it to be a little thicker because I'm going to use it like a paste on my pasta, or faux pasta, zoodle pasta. I don't know. Zasta? Is that zoodle pasta? Zucchini pasta? I don't know. Anyway, you guys get the gist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this sit at very, very low. This is at like 160 degrees, just to meld together for maybe 10 minutes. Let that sit while I get everything else ready for these roll-ups. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this off, put new things back, and when we do our magic edit, it'll be here. So ready? And 3, 2, 1. Okay, so our spinach is done. Our cheeses are melted or blended. So I shredded up a block of mozzarella cheese, and then to that I usually add like a blend of cheddars. I like different types of cheeses. And then I made my meat sauce. So mine is very hearty. It is legit meat sauce. I like a thick meat sauce with this because I think it needs that extra oomph that you get from a thick meat sauce. So this is what happens. I have a KitchenAid attachment that makes sheets out of zucchini. One thing I will tell you is that it needs to be a thick, like a big fat zucchini. It can't be one of those tiny ones because you'll end up with just one sheet or a bunch of little tiny sheets that you're gonna have to figure out a way to put together because you have a YouTube show to film and you have to figure out how to show them how to do it, and I digress. So you have to get a nice little sheet of pasta. Now you can do this with a potato peeler as well. You can just peel sheets with a potato peeler and you can have sheets and roll them up that way as well. I just prefer doing it this way because I have a machine that does it. That being said, I start off with putting a layer of sauce. Now it's not a full layer, it's just like a tiny amount of sauce on the bottom. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start off with my cream cheese mixture. I always do this. I always put the cream cheese first, whether you're doing this with pasta or with zucchini noodles. And then I go in with the cheese, and then I go in with the sauce. And I just, again, I love like a hearty, I added extra onions to it. I love like a hearty sauce. IMO, as the kids these days would say. My sisters would totally tell me right now, I'm so cringing. Then we roll that baby up, and we have a beautiful roll up. Now we're gonna leave that like that. We're gonna continue on, make the rest of these, and then we're gonna top it with more sauce. So I'm gonna try to make some sort of Frankenstein zucchini roll up here with some of the pieces because the zucchini noodle was too small. Let's do Spanish word of the day. Today, espinaca, spinach. Makes you nice and strong. We talked about how much potassium it has and how much great things it has for you. Spinach is amazing, and espinaca is what makes this recipe so delicious. So say it with me, espinaca. Es, like S-A. Espinaca. There you go. Look at that. You've succeeded. And now I'm gonna make the rest of these and then I'll show you when we're all done. Okay, so I've rolled up, or Frankenstein rolled up, my lasagna roll-ups. They are here. I'm gonna top them with a little bit of Parmesan cheese. I topped them with the cheese mix and some sauce as well because we want them to cook. I'm going to cover these with aluminum foil and bake at 350 for about 20 minutes. Then I'm gonna remove the aluminum foil, see how they're doing, and probably add another 10-15 onto that. So I'm gonna do that, put them in the oven, and then we'll see what they turn out. All right, so we had it in the oven for 20 minutes, covered with aluminum foil. Then I took the aluminum foil off and let it sit for another 15 minutes. I like my cheese to be very bubbly and kind of crispy. It's not super crispy, but it's very good. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take one of my roll-ups out. All that cheesy goodness. So much cheese. All right, I'm gonna top with some Parmesan cheese. All right, so we added the Parmesan cheese. We should probably let it sit for like 10 minutes and not eat it right when it comes out of the oven because it's gonna be hot. But, you know, for YouTube's sake, I'll go ahead and give it a shot. All right, so I cut the little piece off. It's very melty, cheesy, ooey gooey. And I'm scared to burn myself. I sing everything, really. I don't know why, but I do. I always do my little dances like, because this is so good. Ooh, you have the heat from the chili flake that I put on the spinach filling. You have the creamy texture. You have the meaty sauce. Honestly, I don't miss the pasta at all. The zucchini works perfectly. And you know what? Keto friendly, yummy, yummy, delicious lasagna roll-ups. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, please like, subscribe, and comment. And let me know if you make these ooey gooey, cheesy, delicious lasagna roll-ups. And I hope to see you next time. Thanks, guys. As always, peace, love, and keto. And I'm gonna go ahead and eat this now. Thanks. Bye. Okay. Stop the camera.